Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. I got another Master Duel video for you. We are coming back at you with some more White Forest Centur-Ion. And I honestly think that this is still probably just the best way to play White Forest in Master Duel so far. Of course, White Forest is going to be getting a lot of follow-up support with all the various Diabell lore cards and archetypes yet to come out. Azamina is a pretty notable inclusion, but also even just recently in the OCG we saw announcements for more Diabell cards, which definitely also help out White Forest quite a bit. So the idea of this style of White Forest Centur-Ion, because there are quite a few ways that you could play it, but the idea here is that we're mainly looking to start our plays with White Forest cards, and then we're kind of using Centurions as a little bit of an extender engine slash something that we can go into even off of the White Forest engine, potentially, right? So the idea is you start synchro climbing with a Stellar into Sylvie to add Tails, and then you go into the Rakila, and then that lets you send Tails, and you can use Tails to add Alzette. Alzette summon to add Rukia, of course adding the woes off of the Rakila, so on and so forth, building the White Forest board, again, until the point where you can synchro for 12, and then if you didn't open Centurion stuff, usually you can just make Auxilia and then make Centurion plays, which does end up being quite good. So yeah, like I said, I think this is the best way to play White Forest. I don't have the toy package in here because I think that might be a bit much. I think I prefer having more hand trap value instead, including Fuelos has made our way in here. As I've said in pretty much every other deck that I've played Fuelos in, we do have additional hand traps to draw into to help support that. And it also helps that this deck does have a way to utilize the Fuelos by discarding it, even if you do happen to go first. So with the ratios here, you might be wondering, particularly the Centurion stuff, why like one of each of the monsters, but 3 of the field spell and 3 Emblema Oath. And that's because, again, a lot of the ways that you're going to end up using Centurion in a deck like this is to actually use them as extenders, because neither Emblema Oath nor Stand Up actually require your normal summon, which is pretty cool. So yeah, if you go, like, let's say you go normal summon a Stellar and activate the effect to send something random like it's like an Imperm or something, and they negate that, and you can still go either Stand Up or Emblema Oath and then combo out, right? And really, you don't end up requiring that many Centurion monsters to be able to do the plays. Not only for your initial turn 1 play do you only need really one of each of the monsters, but you know, Auxilia and of course Legatia as well both set up Centurion stuff into your spell trap zone during the end phase. So the archetype can pretty easily and naturally recycle itself as well. The White Forest ratios, I think, could use a little bit of work. I'd like a 3rd Sylvie, I think. I could cut something like a triple tack for that. I don't mind playing triple tack, well, in general, because it's a really good card. But also, especially in White Forest, you could even consider multiple if you have room, because of course, any dead copies can be sent off of a Stellar or Alzette or Rukia, etc., etc. A little bit of a Bestial package, just Magnum Hut and Duraswarm here. You see this a lot in the Centurion, and I decided to include it in this build, but you could also pretty easily cut those to make room for like a 3rd Sylvie or like a 3rd Imperm if you want more hand trap value. I guess, to be fair, they're really not needed in the White Forest Centurion build as much as they're needed in just like straight up Centurion. It's funny because I see people making the distinction between Bestial and pure Centurion sometimes. I kind of feel like those are the same deck. And I guess what I mean by that is that an optimized Centurion deck should just probably be playing a Bestial engine if it's not playing anything else. So I consider Bestials to pretty much be a part of pure Centurion. Now, is White Forest or pure Centurion better is a pretty interesting point of debate. I think this is one of those cases where neither variant is inherently better, they just have pros and cons. The pro of pure Centurion over this one would be that it's a lot more streamlined and focused and pumping out the Centurion end board, whereas the pro here, of course, is that the White Force stuff can actually add a fair bit and or do its own board building on top of what Centurion can do, right? So all things to consider when asking which Centurion deck you'd like to play. Standard. Extra deck is pretty standard, is what I was going to say. The only real non-standard thing for me is that rather than a second Blazar, I have a Shooting Quasar Dragon, because it's functionally pretty much exactly the same thing as Blazar. Not quite as good. Definitely don't get me wrong, it's not quite as good. But the role of second Blazar can definitely be fulfilled by Quasar. I think that's completely fine. So yeah, I think that's going to pretty much cover the list here. Again, I think it's pretty standard, all things considered. Why don't we break it down card by card and then look at some of these replays? We're on 2 Effect Veiler, 3 Maxi, 3 Esteller of the White Forest, 2 Elzette of the White Forest, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 1 Centurion Primera, 1 Centurion Trudea, 2 Sylvie of the White Forest, 1 Rukia of the White Forest, 3 Molcharmy Fuelos, 1 Bestial Magnum Hut, 1 Bestial Druiswarm, 1 Centurion Gargoyle 2, 1 Nibiru of the Primal Being, 1 Triple Tactics Talent, 1 Tales of the White Forest, 3 Stand Up Centurion, 2 Called by the Grave, 1 Cross-Eye Designator, 3 Emblema Oath, 2 Infinite Permanents, 1 Centurion Phalanx, and then 1 Woes of the White Forest. And there's our main deck. For the extra, we're on 1 Silvera Wolf Tamer of the White Forest, 1 Rakila Sinister Soul of the White Forest, 1 Diabel Queen of the White Forest, 1 Baron de Fleur, 1 Bestial Dissipator, 1 Chaos Angel, 1 Shooting Quasar Dragon, 1 Cosmic Blazar Dragon, 1 Red Supernova Dragon, 1 Crimson Dragon, 1 Centurion Legatia, 1 Centurion Auxilia, 1 number 41 Baguska, the terribly tired Tapir, 1 Superstar Slayer Typhone Sky Crisis, and finally 1 SP Little Knight. There's our list. Let's check out these duels. Okay, for our first game, we are going up against Tenpai, so naturally we're going to be taking the first turn here. I do believe we did win the coin flip though, so we weren't necessarily privy to the fact that it was Tenpai going into the game. Alright, starting off here with a Stellar, we can normal summon and use her effect, setting this call by in order to special summon Sylvie. Sylvie will grab the Tails of the White Forest. Now we can synchro summon these two into Rakila, Sinister Soul of the White Forest. Using her effects, we can actually send the Tails that we just added in order to add Woes of the White Forest. We can then reset Tails off its own effect, and Stellar gets summoned herself off her own effect. Alright, there's that face down, Stellar to the board. We can flip up Tails, Tails to add Elzette. Now we can use Elzette's effect, sending that Woes that we added to special summon herself, adding Rukia, and then we can use Woes effect to set itself. But it's going to DD Crow on that Woes here, which is a little bit annoying, but definitely not the end of the world. Not by any means. It's completely fine, honestly. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to Synchro Summon for 8 here. It's going to let us go for Diabel, Queen of the White Forest. Using her effect, I'm going to actually add back the Called By rather than the Tails of the White Forest here. Special Summoning Rukia. I'm then going to use the Sylvie effect to special summon herself. And now we can sync for 12, and this is again how we pivot into the Centurion engine. From there we can use Auxilia effects to add Stand-Up Centurion. Stand-Up Centurion effects to pitch the Fuelos here. Now I misplayed here, and I did this during like this whole play session. I don't know why I kept putting Trudea in the spell trap zone. Well, I guess to be fair here, I've already used my normal summon. Okay, I'm thinking of another game where I misplayed by putting Trudea in. But here I think it's fine, right? Because we put Trudea in the spell trap, special summon, put Primera in the spell trap, Primera effect to special. We can Primera effect to add the Phalanx. Now I'm going to link off Primera and a Stellar into SP Little Knight. And then set 2, and then I can use the Auxilia effect to put Primera back in the spell trap zone. So I guess you end up with an extra Rukia here. Although, to be fair, were it not for DD Crow, the extra Rukia would have a bit more of a function. We could use the Woes effect to quick synchro with her during our opponent's turn. But it's not that big of a deal to just have a random extra body on the board. Okay, opponent's going to Lightning Storm for spell and trap cards. So I'm going to chain Trudea, and they're going to chain Droplet, send the Lightning Storm, as well as a Genroku from hand. And fun fact, even though Primera is a trap card in the spell trap zone, I was not able to chain her to Forbidden Droplet here. But it's actually totally fine because we still have that extra leftover Rukia. That's going to be our level 4 tuner that we used to go into Crimson Dragon here. Crimson Dragon effect on the Auxilia, and now we can go into Blazar. And this is really nice because now we still have the negate, even though our opponent only has 2 cards in hand. I did not negate Doradora because that was not threatening enough. Like, if Doradora happened to find a Shundra here, then we could just negate the summon of Shundra, right? Yeah, they're just going to link Doradora into Striker Dragon, and then pass right back over to us. So, in spite of the Lightning Storm, we were able to still, of course, dodge the Tenpai FCK. Alright, I'm doing just a little bit of board building here just to get some more stats on the field so I can OTK. Gonna bring back this Sylvie after synchroing into Rukia. Of course, we're gonna turn to Auxilia and Blazar to attack mode. And there we go. That should be sufficient for lethal. More than. Alright. So yeah, there's a pretty decent example. I could have played that a little more optimally, but I think that's still a pretty decent example of showing how you can pivot from the White Force engine into the Centur-Ion engine to bridge the links between the two, so to speak. So there we go. Alright, there's our first game, but let's take a look at our next one. Okay, for this one, we're going to be up against Yubel, and taking the first turn again here. I think our last replay is going to be a going second duel, if you're a little more interested in seeing that, but for this one here, we actually open up with our Centur-Ion and not the White Forest play. So we're going to go stand-up Centur-Ion, and this is the game where I misplayed. Yep. So I put Trudea in the spell trap. That was bad. Because I haven't used my normal summon yet. I should have put Primera, normal summon Primera, or sorry, special summon Primera off her effect, Primera effect to add Trudea, then normal summon Trudea. Because the way that I did it is, again, not good. It's going to not end me on enough bodies to be able to make Crimson Dragon during my opponent's turn. We'll definitely still call by their Maxi here. And after this Trudea resolves, we're going to throw down a triple attack and take a look at their hand. Alright, so we see Nightmare Throne, Opening, 1-for-1, and Ash Blossom. So in the way of gas, they have a ton. We're definitely going to take Ash Blossom here because they can potentially use that against some of our stuff that's coming up, like the Primera search. But more than that, also, it doesn't really do much to take one of these if we're just leaving them with the ability to have other starters anyway. So we'll definitely take Ash Blossom. And again, Nightmare Throne, Gates, and 1-for-1 are the remaining cards in hand. Alright, get a special Primera, add the Gargoyle. Gonna have to do a bit of a botch line here, sending the Trudea to special. It's really not what you should be doing, but again, I botched it, so we're gonna have to make do. Gonna use Auxilia effect to add the Phalanx here. Yeah, like I said, I'm not able to go into Crimson Dragon because I'm only gonna be able to have one Centur-Ion monster in my spell trap zone as a result of doing it this way. Which is, again, pretty bad. You don't want to do it the way I did it here. I do show off in my Centur-Ion videos and combo guide. Did I ever make a combo guide for Centur-Ion? I actually have no idea if I did or not. I think I did. Anyway. I show off in other videos how to actually play this deck well. Don't mind me being a little bit bad here. Alright, so I'm holding off on this Phalanx. I want to see how my opponent uses the Nightmare Throne first. So I'm going to use it to pop Spirit and go for Yubel. Using Gates F to bring back Spirit. Now, on Spirit F, I don't want Nightmare Pain to add Gruesome Gravescormer and extend their plays further, so I'm going to Valor the Spirit here. Alright, they're going to use Gates to add back Gates. That's completely fine with me. And they actually overlay Yubel and Spirit of Yubel into the Veradros. Going into the battle phase, they're activating the Veradros effect, and they actually pop my face-down Phalanx. I really thought they were going to go for Auxilia, but I'm actually pretty okay with the way this turned up playing out here. Yeah, they're going to go for Almirage, I guess, to protect Veradros, and then they will detach to negate Veradros, or to negate Auxilia with Veradros here. But no Destroy. They chose to keep a material on? Really? Oh, so they have another Omni Negate this turn. Right. That makes sense. So, yeah, I'm going to go for Magna Mud here. And I guess they realized at this point that they wouldn't be able to play through my board. I was a little surprised they didn't try to Veradros negate the Primera here, because I feel like that would have been good, right? Were they afraid of me just going for... Well, that wouldn't have worked either. Even if I had another Primera in my deck, stand up, pitch for another Primera wouldn't have let me summon it. That's a little confusing to me that they conceded instead of just negating. Because they should know my last card in hand is Gargoyle. Yeah, that's a little odd to me. But, I mean, we'll definitely take the win. So, there is that. Anyway, one more game to check out. Let's finish off with that one. And our going second game is going to be against Dinos. Good old dinosaurs. Let's see what they're up to here. I think this is a Fuelos hand. It sure is. We got Fuelos and Imperm. I would like actually to draw another spell or trap card for turn, so I don't have to pitch Emblema Oath, ideally. So here, I went for Imperm on the Armanoid Arachosaur effect, and this was for a couple of reasons. The main reason was that my opponent really thought about their play before normal summoning this, which told me that this play was probably going to be pretty important, right? If you had a clean, easy turn 1 combo line, you would just do it. There wouldn't be that much thought usually involved. And the fact that they thought a lot before playing a non-standard turn 1 opener really makes me think that Imperm is pretty valuable here, because the odds of them having a relevant extender are going to be relatively low. And even if they do, we have Fuelos. Oh, that's the other reason why I Impermed first. I don't actually need the draws off Fuelos that badly. I really should have used Fuelos after the Imperm, because I kind of figured they were going to go for a Link one, but we'll just use it in response to the Double Evolution Pill instead. This actually makes me a little more glad I saved the Fuelos, because the Double Evolution Pill is a little bit more of a commitment as far as needing to discard a card, or banish a card from hand, rather. It does get to the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, which is a form of disruption, right? You can turn my whole board face down during my turn. So normal summoning the Esteller here, gonna pitch the Centur-Ion Phalanx that I have top decked. Specialing Sylvie effect for Tails. Here's where they use the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, but we actually have multiple lines of extension here. I do have the Emblema Oath still, but also I have many spell traps now for the Elzet. So I'm just gonna use Elzet here, pitch the Tails that I added, get back Rukia. Tails F gets to set itself. Now from here, oh, my opponent conceded. I was hoping to get the pause before they did. From here, though, I will say it's a little bit unclear as to what I would do next. I mean, I would go for the Rakila, but I don't even know if I would activate here. Would I even want to go for Rakila? Rakila's a tuner, right? Because, okay, well, I could still stand up. Sorry, I could still Emblema, set stand up, activate stand up. I'd have to pitch Callby, which isn't ideal, but that's whatever. I don't know. See, I chose to extend with the LZ and stuff, but I kind of think that was a misplay. I think I should have used Emblema Oath here first. And then if my opponent had more disruption, / if I had more room for plays, then I should have used LZ. I think that was the way to do it, but they're going to concede either way, so that's totally fine. Anyway, that'll do it for these games, and as a result of this video, thank you as always for watching. Super duper appreciate that. I've said it before, I say it in every outro too, but watching till the very end really is more than subscribing, more than commenting, and a lot of times even more than following on other platforms. That is the best way to support the channel, is simply watching every video till the end. So thank you everyone who did choose to do that. But that's all for now. Let's move on to our outro. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Just want to give you a huge thanks for watching all the way to the very end of the video. Believe it or not, that is actually one of the best ways that you can support the channel, is by watching the videos in their entirety. But there are many ways in which you can support the channel if you are so interested. The names that you're seeing on screen here, I gotta give an extra special thanks to, because these are people who have chosen to either become a member on YouTube, which if you're interested you can do as well via the join button next to the subscribe button down down there, or have signed up over on Patreon and become members there. Link to that is going to be in the description below. Without the support that is being offered by, again, all the people that you're seeing on screen right here, I would not be able to take the time to dedicate to uploading daily YouTube videos. So thank you so very much. But there are also other ways you can support as well. Again, link to the description below. If you like my deck tracker that you'll see in a lot of my videos, the Untapped Companion, you can download that for free. And if you use my affiliate link down there, then that also goes a long way towards supporting the channel. That's, again, free. So is subscribing here on YouTube. That's also free and a huge way to support. You can also check out Twitch, once again linked in the description below. Following and subscribing over there will not only support as well, but also give you notifications of when I go live if you want to catch some of the live streams. But really, no matter how you choose to support, it all adds up and it all definitely means the world. So thank you, each and every one of you. For now, this is Hexlex. I'm going to be signing out. But more than that, I'm hoping that you have a fantastic day.